Hi everyone, this is grade 5, lesson 3, off and running. So we'll be discussing the vocabulary, skill, and text of lesson 3. Objectives are, first, unlock vocabulary words based on context and use these new vocabulary words in sentences. Again, we don't need the dictionary or the glossary for us to unlock words in context. We only need to see how they're used in sentences because within these sentences there are clues as to the meaning of the words. Second, we would recognize realistic fiction as a literary genre. And third, demonstrate reading fluency and comprehension skills. So let's begin with vocabulary in context. Number 1 is debate. This class held a debate to discuss which project helps their school the most. So take a look at this picture. It's a familiar scenario in schools, including our own. So there are debates amongst schoolmates of ours who run for public office, and they tell us which projects would be most beneficial to the school and which ones would be the best for students. So what do you think is the meaning of debate? Yes, so debate is a discussion or consideration of the arguments for and against something. So one side would argue or would debate about one project being better than the other. Everything that comes out of a debate would be to accomplish a goal. Like for example, creating projects and other programs for the school's benefit. Number 2 is prodded. No one needed to be prodded or pushed to buy an item at this class bake sale. So we don't force people to buy from our bake sale so we can raise money, right? So what is the meaning of prodded as used in this context? Yes, the meaning is pushed. So you already have this conjunction as your clue. Remember that if you see the conjunction or within a sentence, then most likely it presents an alternative meaning to your highlighted word. 3, gradually. The graph shows that gradually or little by little, the class will get funds for a field trip. So if you would notice, the graphs are going higher, which means that little by little, they will get their funding or their money for their much awaited trip. So gradually is an adverb of manner. If you remember adverbs of manner, they usually end with ly. They describe how an action is done. So if the class will get their funds for a field trip gradually, would it be in one go or would it be step by step? Yes, it's going to be step by step. Okay, because gradually means occurring in small stages. Number 4 is decorated. Students decorated this room with crepe paper and balloons for the graduation ceremony. So look at this lovely picture of balloons and congratulations on the sides and good luck on the other. So what is the meaning of decorated? It's very easy. It's to furnish with something that is attractive and also to make a room or let's say a certain place nice with lots of embellishments and furnishings. Number 5 is beckoned. The cheerleaders beckoned or signaled the fans to join them in a cheer for the team. So this is what cheerleaders do. They motivate the entire school to cheer for, let's say, athletes or whomever in the school needs support, right? So right now they are beckoning. What is the meaning of beckoning? It means signaled, okay? Or to signal by nodding or waving. Right now, they are beckoning by pointing their fingers to the audience. Number 6 is scanned. This library aide scanned the shelves looking carefully for a certain book. So look at him having a go. He's looking for maybe an informational text or a realistic fiction text like the one that we're going to read today. Okay, so what is the meaning of scanned? Yes, it means looking carefully at something or to examine something very closely. Number 7 is inflated. This student inflated balloons to decorate the classroom for a party. So in this picture, He's making the balloon bigger by blowing air in it. So what is the meaning of inflated? Yes, it means to cause to expand with gas. So balloons are really nice, decorative things, and of course they would not have that much appeal if you don't inflate them. You've got to make them bigger. The bigger, the better. Next word is stalled. When traffic in the halls has stalled, a hall monitor may need to move people along. So in some schools, including ours, there are hall monitors that tell people to move or stay on the right or stay on the left or be careful when they go up and down the stairs. Right? So what happens if traffic has stalled in the halls? Of course, the monitor would tell people to move or move faster but in a safe way. So stalled is the opposite of moving along, right? So stalled means to stop. So sometimes traffic stops whenever there are too many students passing by the hall, or maybe something happened across the hall that needs attention. So the hall monitor is responsible for that. Number 9 is shaken. Although shaken by the height of the microphone, this boy gave a good speech. So he should have adjusted the microphone so he would be able to reach it, right? But despite this, he gave a very good speech. Okay? So what is the meaning of shaken in this context? It's not trembling or quivering. It's not the action of moving from side to side. It's actually to feel uneasy. Like, what situations would shake you? Not preparing for a test, for example, or let's say that you've left your copybook at home and you need it in school, you would of course be shaken and you would feel very uneasy because there are some things that you were supposed to do which you haven't done. So shaken means to feel uneasy. Number 10 is hesitated. This student hesitated or hung back before she tried to answer her teacher's question. Okay, so she raised her hand at the question, but then she had second thoughts and lowered her hand again. She hung back or hesitated. So what is the meaning of hesitated? Yes, it is to be slow to act, to speak, or to decide like this girl, or to have second thoughts about something. Proceed to our target reading skill. We'll be focusing on compare and contrast. So when you compare, you find similarities, and when you contrast, you identify differences. So in the realistic fiction often running, Miyata and Rudy, the two main characters, are so alike in some ways, but they are also different in other ways. As we read the story, we're going to compare and contrast their behaviors and thoughts, and use this graphic organizer that you are most familiar with. So what is this graphic organizer that we use for comparing and contrasting? So if you answered Venn diagram, then you are correct. So we have two overlapping circles. In the first circle, we're going to write the characteristics of the first main character, Miata. And in the second circle, we're going to write about Rudy's characteristics. In the overlapping circles, we'll be placing characteristics that are common to both of them. Let's also discuss genre. Realistic fiction. So what is it? It includes characters and events that are like people and events in real life. So it's fictional, yes, but then it's also realistic in that you would not expect to see wizards or fairies or dragons in this story. This is going to be similar to a real school story, but the characters are made up. However, you can find yourself in the same situation as the main characters or many of the other subordinating characters. So as you read a realistic fiction story, you have to look for realistic characters and events, characters' feelings that seem believable, and challenges and conflicts that might exist in real life that would be pretty much relatable, that you can identify with. So this is also important, especially characters' feelings, because we will be using this for comparing and contrasting characters, not only their thoughts, but also in terms of their actions and the words that they say. We would be examining and analyzing what kinds of characters they are. And also, since it's realistic fiction, we'll be comparing them with people in real life. This is our realistic fiction text. Title is Off and Running. Author is Gary Soto and the illustrator is Eric Velasquez. Essential question: why is determination a good quality for a politician to have? So let's unlock some of the big words right here. Determination, what is it? So determination is the trait or the characteristic of wanting to pursue something very much and working hard to get something or to achieve that which you want. Now, a politician is a person who runs politics, usually a leader or a statesman of a country. Now, you're very familiar with this realistic fiction setting or this setup because you've voted for your student leaders before. This is a story about student leaders. That's why you would see pins in here all over. Vote for Miata, vote for Rudy. And these two main characters, Miata and Rudy, they are competing for the position of student council leader in their school. However, they have different characteristics, not only in terms of giving their speeches and planning for what benefits the school, but also in terms of their overall attitude, their discipline, and also the way that they look at things. So we will be comparing and contrasting the two main characters, Miata and Rudy. And also we'll enjoy reading the story as we go. So please go to e-resources to access this file. Be responsible enough to read the realistic fiction story from start to finish, and to also analyze these two characters and prepare for discussion and writing activities about this story. Check out our references for more information on this topic. I'll see you in the next video.